Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my sweat, put on my beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between. Know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rap, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would, now I'm running. You don't wanna follow me, I'm out looking for.
What's going on? What's going on? Good evening and happy Monday to you. It's just about the end of the month. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Steve the Kidney Nurse. I am your host, Steve Belcher. Thank you for joining. Look, tonight, let's make this go viral, okay? You know, you hear a lot about there's not enough education on kidney disease, or when they do have something, it's these seminars where you have, doctors and they're talking, and you may not understand a thing they're saying. You're just sitting in the seminar online, like, what's going on, So make this go viral so we can have other kidney warriors see this if they're not here tonight, because this definitely pertains to kidney warriors, okay? If you got a mom, a dad, you got a partner, a wife, husband, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, whoever, this show is for them. And I added additional bonus to talk about proteinuria, which means protein in the urine. Because a lot of people are like, hey, man, I went to the doctor and they said I had protein in my urine, but they didn't do anything. What does that mean? I'm in danger? So I want to talk about that after we talk about the first 30 days. So stick around, because right now you may not have kidney disease, or you may have it and not know it. They say 9 out of 10 blacks have stage 3 kidney disease and don't even know it. Don't even know it. So you could be on TikTok watching, you could be right here on Facebook or YouTube watching, and if you don't have kidney disease, you may have it and not even know it. And it may be at stage 3. It's 5 stages. So if you are, or if you went to the doctor and they mentioned something about protein in the urine or in your pee, you make sure you follow up with that and ask them, what's your GFR? And for them, like, what are you talking about, GFR? Like, what's that acronym? Well, that stands for glomerular filtration rate. And that tells how well your kidneys are functioning. Are they running at 10%? Are they running at 30? Are they running at 90? Like I said, mine is 92. My GFR went up to 92 because I made some lifestyle changes. It's not a one pill fix all. You got to put in some work yourself. But let's talk about your first 30 days, because when you start dialysis, or if you already started, there are certain questions, okay? There are certain questions you should be asking during your first month at outpatient hemodialysis, bar none. Bar none. But how would you know what questions to ask if you've never been to dialysis before? How would you know? Unless you had your own questions. But if you know nothing about hemodialysis and this is a new normal for you, hell, you're not even thinking about asking no questions. You're not. So let's break it down into weeks. We're going to break 1 month down into weeks. Give you some things to think about. You may be watching this and you may have a parent, yourself, your loved one about to start dialysis therapy and you don't know what to do. You may be scared out of your mind, or you may be thinking how this is going to happen. What about this? What about that? Now I got to go to dialysis. Well, hopefully I can give you some answers today and some questions that you may want to think about. And even though if it is past your first month and some of these things to think about may have been addressed, some of them may not have been addressed. Okay, so again, if you're new or you're about to start dialysis, your mom, your dad, yourself, these are some questions you should be asking during your first month of dialysis. And I'm going to break it down into weeks. So on your first week at outpatient dialysis, you just got out the hospital. You just been diagnosed with kidney failure. Boom. Now, what are you thinking about? What's going on your first week? Of course, you're trying to cope. You just been hit with the diagnosis, which is the 9th leading cause of death in the United States, that you got to go 3 times a week, basically for the rest of your life. And if you want to get off dialysis, then you're thinking about the treatment option of a transplant. But that's not a cure. That's another treatment option. So your first week as a new dialysis patient at outpatient dialysis, you're trying to cope with this new normal. You may have depression, anxiety. You may even have some suicide thoughts. And if you are, let me put this up right quick on the banner. Suicide hotline. Yes, I have it up here. Because when you're dealing with any chronic illness, you have to think about the mental health. So when you coping that first week, you may want to ask or think about, how can I get help coping with all these changes? Because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot of changes. Just ask some kidney warriors that you may know. We talking about role reversal. We talk about maybe one spouse who wasn't working now has to go out and work. I mean, there's a lot of impact to the family, kids. So now you want to ask them, how can you get help coping with these changes? Even if you need to talk to somebody. Don't keep it bottled up. Even if you got to go to a support group, Facebook, wherever. Don't keep this bottled up. Even on TikTok, if you got to join a live like this live right now, if you're in the feed and you're dealing with something and you hear me talking about it, maybe if you put it out there, then somebody may see it and could fellowship or answer it or say how they may have dealt with it and how they dealt with it. It's all about here, this live or any live that I do about communication, fellowship, dialogue, interaction, because that's the only way we learn. I don't know everything. It may be people on the TikTok live there's people from all over the world that may be watching. And they may have done something or do something that may work for them that could work for someone else. So that first week, coping. How can you get help coping with all the changes? 2, what mood changes should you watch out for? Yes, you're going to probably going through some mood changes that first week. Maybe snapping, maybe irritable, depression, maybe like you may feel worthless. I don't know, but we know when, well, let me talk about myself. I know when I was sick and have, not dialysis or anything like that, but I had this unknown viral infection. I lost like about 40 pounds, walking around looking like a base head. Like I had this unknown viral infection. They did all these tests, HIV, strep, this, that, and other. Couldn't find nothing. They just know a viral infection came through my body and ravaged it, had me spilling 3 grams of protein. I'm weak. I ain't want to do nothing. I'm feeling depressed. I'm in bed. I was a dialysis nurse. Now I'm a damn patient. And I'm a nurse. I'm in a hospital. Now I'm on the other side of the coin. And if you're a healthcare worker, you know we don't like to be on the other side of the coin. And that's why if you are, that's why you treat people the way you want to be treated. Because no one is immune to any type of illness. All it takes is one mishap. One going to work in the morning and you walking out the door and there's some black ice and you slip. Or you get hit by a car. You just never know. But anyway, you want to know what mood changes should you be watching out for in that first week. You could be going through a whole lot of mood changes. And so the person you want to talk to when you get to that facility, because a lot of patients don't entrust the social worker, but that's what the social worker is supposed to be there for. But a lot of times these social workers at these dialysis centers are stretched to the bone. Stretched to the bone. So you may be in there talking to her and they may be looking at you, but not looking at you. And you may be feeling, oh man, they're not listening to what I'm saying. So I encourage you, if you just started dialysis or this is your first month, second month, or let's just say less than 6 months. And let's just say even your first year or not even your first year, but if you're dealing with kidney disease and you think you may need to talk to someone, and you don't trust your social worker sitting down talking with them, try to find a social worker in the community that you can talk to and go see. Some of them, have sliding scale payment. Some of them, go with Medicare, whatever. But don't let your mental health suffer because of this disease. Don't try to deal with it in the dark by yourself. I mean, if you have and everything is good, that's fine. But for a lot of people, this new normal could be taking its toll. Having to go dialysis 3 times a week, 3 times a week, 3 times a week. So the social worker, if you are coping with some mental changes or some changes, talk to the social worker that first week. And if you can't find them or they're not around, please try to find someone through your insurance network. Second, that you want to look at during that first week is your new diet, bar none. Your new diet. Soon as someone see the dietitian, say they may be there 2 weeks, you still don't know anything. You haven't seen the dietitian, and you're like, eat anything now. Like that first 2-3 weeks, say you didn't see a dietitian. No one told you anything. You just eating stuff that's high in potassium, that's high in phosphorus. It's been 3 weeks. You knew. You should be seeing that dietitian either the first or your second treatment. And these are some of the questions you need to ask the dietitian once you meet them. 1, how do I need to change my diet? How do I need to change it? Now, you used to be able to have bananas. Now they say you can't have bananas. You say, huh? You can't have bananas? Or you can't have nuts? Or you can't have this? And all these foods they saying you can't have, these are the foods that you love. But then you do your research and you find that there's dietitians and nutritionists on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram that's saying something different. And you're like, how can this be? You got one dietitian say this and another one says that. Because these dietitians are thinking outside the box. This disease, again, is not a one-size-fit-all. A lot of these dietitians in the clinic are using information set forth by the company. They may add a little bit of spice in it, but for the most part, they're not going to do like you see the dietitians on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. They tell you, okay, if you like banana, you can have a banana, but don't eat the whole banana. You can still have it, but limit how much you take. So if you go eat, instead of eating a whole banana, just eat half and say the other half for another day. Also, with how do you need to change your diet, you're going to need to know what kind of medicines can help keep you healthy. All right. I'm sorry. I'm doing the show. You got folic acid, vitamins, your binders. All this is going to be new to you. You may be a person be like, oh, I ain't never took a pill in my life. Now you better start taking that binder. I just did a show last night on PTH, parathyroid hormone. Your kidneys fail. It can't activate vitamin D. What are you going to do now? Now they come and you got to take all these different medicines. So you want to know what you need to take and how is this going to impact your health. You got some people who trying to take some of these binders, they can't take it because it upsets their stomach. So then what you going to do? Don't stop taking them. Talk to the dietitian, let them know so they can try something else. Don't just stop taking them and continue eating and don't tell nobody. That's when the trouble comes in. 3, something to think about, your dialysis treatment on the first week. Something to think about. The third thing is your dialysis treatment. Because when you get to the clinic, you don't know this. But when you go, you sign the papers and everything. They take you to your chair, you sit down, and they put you on. And you think you may be running 3 hours because you was in the hospital and you set your watch because you knew at 3 hours you came off. You at the clinic and they running you 4 hours. And you like, wait a minute. When I was at the hospital, I think I ran 3 hours. Be like, no, that's in the hospital. The doctor, your prescription, the doctor wrote for you to have 4 hours. And you're like, what? And then when you finish, you say, do I got to come back again? Yes. You got to come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So we'll see you on Wednesday. And you're like, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I thought I had to do this maybe twice, 2 or 3 times. No. The doctor didn't talk to you? Well, he said in the hospital that I had to do dialysis, but I didn't ask him it was forever. Yes. It's either till you get a transplant, if that's what you want, or until you pass away, but your kidneys no longer work. And you got to get a dialysis therapy to take the place of what your kidneys no longer can do. But I didn't know that. I just thought this was temporary. So know how long you're going to be on, know what's going on. Also, know what happens during treatment. I went over that when I talked about the consent form. And in the consent form, it tells you all the contraindications or the issues that could happen while you're on dialysis. You could be on dialysis, everything went well in the hospital. Now you at outpatient, and your first treatment, you cramping. You never had these cramps before, and all of a sudden, it like hit the bottom of your calf, and you standing up, yelling at the top of your lungs. And then the next thing you know, you say, oh, I don't feel well. And you fall back in the chair. That's because your blood pressure dropped when you shot straight up and you had orthostatic hypotension. all on your first day, and you get up, and you got all these people around you scaring the living crap out of you. Like, what's going on? What happened? And they got this rag on your head, and this is your first day, and you say to yourself, I don't want to come back here anymore. I don't want to go through this. So that's why you need to know what to look out for. And that's one of the main reasons. Let me take a short breather. If you want to watch it from YouTube and Facebook, that's why I wrote my book, and you see it up on the screen, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis, a guide for patients with kidney failure. Because if many patients had this book before they started dialysis, then they know what to expect, what to look out for. Oh, don't take out too much fluid. See, a lot of patients don't know to tell a technician or the nurse how much fluid to take off, especially on your first day. The doctor may say, take off this or that. Or if you don't have a dry weight and doctor didn't say how much to take off, then we just going by like assessment. So you want to know during your first week, especially with your dialysis treatment, how long will you be on dialysis? Meaning the hours. Is it going to be 3 hours? It's going to be 3.5, 3 hours and 15 minutes, 3 hours and 45 minutes. It's going to be 4 hours. It's going to be 4.5 hours. And also, what happens during treatment? If you take your mom or dad to dialysis, they chirpy and everything. You go, hey, mama, see you later, daddy. And when you come back, they leaning over in the wheelchair, they mumbling, man. You're like, what happened? So you just want to make sure what happens, what are the things that you need to look out for during dialysis? Low blood pressure, cramping, how much fluid is being taken off. Also, that first week, something to think about, support in and out of the dialysis center. What kind of support can you and your family get now you're dealing with this new illness? All right. And what I mean by that, you may start dialysis and you may want to sit in a unit. You may want to ask them, can family or friends keep you company or your loved one company during treatment? Some units may say, yeah, the smaller ones, the smaller companies, but the Vitas and the facility may say, no, this is a HIPAA violation. Infection control. You may be scared, nervous to go on that machine. And the only thing that you feel will calm you down is your loved one. And then you may have a administrator or a charge nurse. No, we can't do it. They, like you can bend something for the first treatment. Okay, since this your first treatment, we can let you sit in here for a little while till your loved one fall asleep, whatever the case may be. But we have to respect the privacy of the other patients. Also, what number should you call if you have a question. Make sure you get the number of the facility, especially if you have a question. You may even want to get the administrator, get their personal cell phone, because a lot of times they may be covering other units and they may not be at the facility where you're at, so you may need to get in contact with them. You'd be like, yeah, because I can't never find my facility administrator, or they never around when I need to talk to them. So let's go into the second week of your first 30 days. This is the second week now of renal treatment therapy. Your fourth treatment, because it's 3 treatments a week. So your first week is 3 treatments. Now we're on the second week for your next 3 treatments. And you're like, Steve, what are the things that I should be thinking about? How are you going to pay for treatment? That may be coming to your mind. How the hell I'm going to pay treatment? My job. Oh my God. What the hell I'm going to do? Can I get Medicare? You may work at McDonald's. You may drive Uber. You may work somewhere that don't have not so good insurance. Or hell, you may have no insurance at all. Now it's like, how? That's something now you're worrying about, oh my God, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? So one of the questions you want to ask is, 1, what kind of insurance do you have? Do you have Blue Cross Blue Shield? Do you have Aetna, United Health? I don't know, Obamacare? And if you do, what does your insurance cover? You may have Kaiser. Now, Kaiser has their own clinics. So what does your insurance cover if you have it? Does it cover hemodialysis treatment? Also, you may want to ask, are there any community resources that can help you with other cost of living? Now you're out of work. You may not have no sick leave. And what if you have your own business? Or what if you drive Uber? Then what? You don't have anything coming in but everything going out. Second thing you want to think about in the second week, preparing meals. Preparing meals. Now, this new normal, by this time you may have talked to the dietitian. They telling you your whole meal plan got to change. You're like, oh shit, I didn't even know that. What are you telling me? I don't have any money to go out and buy new food. So here's some of the things you want to ask. Where can I find recipes that's going to fit your new diet? Because this is a new diet now. It ain't no going back to the old. Now you got to watch your potassium, your phosphorus, your sodium, your cholesterol. All these can have an impact. Not just your kidneys are damaged, But these other foods can still have an impact on your heart. A lot of people not thinking about their heart. They worried about thinking the kidneys. And they still eating the fried food, the high cholesterol stuff, and the high phosphorus. And then next thing you know, 2-3 years down the line, same person, oh, I think I'm gonna try to get a kidney. And you go sign up, they're on Facebook. Yeah, guys, I went and did everything to get on the list. So I'm just waiting to see what happens. Next thing you know, you get that letter in the mail saying you're ineligible because you had calcification around your heart. And you're trying to figure out, how did I get calcification around my heart? Because it was the PTH. It was those high phosphorus foods. You weren't taking your binders. Also, when preparing meals, to think about when you get hit with this disease, or your family or somebody, now you got to think about what meal plans to do now. Again, where can you find recipes that's going to fit your new diet? This renal diet doesn't have to be draconian. It doesn't have to be bland. Okay? It doesn't have to be. Also, what seasonings can you use and what should you avoid? Okay? And the dietitian you talk to about that, and about paying for treatment pertaining to your insurance, what kind of insurance do you have and what your insurance will cover, go see the social worker. That's what she's there for. Also, the second week, the third thing you want to think about, your medicines. And some questions you want to think about, can you afford them? Can you afford them? Also, what new medicines do you need to take? Because, remember when you were in a hospital diagnosed and you leave out the hospital, they gave you a rack of prescriptions and lists. Like, God darn. Or what pharmacy do you use? You go to the pharmacy, you got about like 7-8 new medicines. You're like, oh my God, I'm really sick. 8 new medicines? So you need to know what new medicines you need to take. Also, something to ask, do you have to stop taking any of your other prescriptions that you could be taking, or over-the-counter medicines? You got to be careful with those over-the-counter medicines. And those are medicines that you could buy over-the-counter without a prescription. You see, that may interact or be, as they call it in medical terms, be contraindicated. And taking something else. Also, something to think about your second week. What are you going to do during treatment? Now it's coming on the end of the second week, maybe sometime in the middle, like that Wednesday. You're trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the time I'm sitting here in dialysis. What I'm going to do? Going to watch TV. I'm going to be on my phone. I'm going to be on the internet. I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be doing crossword puzzle, playing games, watching Wheel of Fortune. What are you going to do during your time? You're going to go to sleep. You're going to look around, be very observant. You're going to read. What are you going to do? One thing to ask, don't assume, is can you eat during your treatment? Don't just come in with a bag and then this styrofoam box of carry-out food like macaroni and cheese, spare ribs, and greens, and 32-ounce soda, big gulp. And you come in here with this food. Some places may let you eat it. And some places like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't eat on the machine. It's our policy. Why I can't eat on the machine? I see so-and-so eat. See, what's in there eat on the machine? Are you diabetic? They diabetic. And they eat light food. They ain't coming in here with this greasy stuff. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to eat my food anyway. But all right, maybe one of them units to say, all right, go ahead. You know, because some units take you off the machine, return your blood. It's that serious. They eating, put all this stuff up at the eat. Then an hour and a half later, oh, go get him the bag. Go get him the bag. Vomiting. Bag filled. Yo, let me get it. Give me that bag. Oh my God. Oh shit. Oh my. Me patting his head, he's sweating and all that. Be like, we told you. We told you. You see what happens when you eat on a machine, the digestion process, it take that, the blood goes to your digestive tract. And now you may become hypotension or have low blood pressure. And if you're eating and this happens, you can pass out and aspirate, meaning choke on the food because you passed out and you could be in the middle of swallowing. So it's a matter of opinion. Some places let you eat, some don't. But I'm telling you, the places that don't, the reason why, because they've seen patients get sick right after they ate. Or somebody may have a piece of candy in their mouth or something and their blood pressure dropped and they choked on the candy. We had to do the Heimlich maneuver. Also, can you eat during your dialysis treatment? Also asks, how should you dress during treatment? And a lot of kidney warriors, people watching this that's on dialysis now, veterans, they tell you, bring a blanket. Bring a blanket. Don't mess around. And if you got to get an electric blanket, bring that. Because it'd be so damn cold in the unit. They'd be playing with the thermometer 1 minute. See, this is the thing. We can't please everyone. You're going to have some patients that are going to be hot. Some patients are going to be cold. So they put the thermostat at a certain temperature. But one thing a lot of patients don't know, a lot of times why they may be cold, and you can do this tomorrow. And I'm pointing up because I'm pointing to my photo on TikTok. You see right here where it says temperature, right? They set the temperature to 35.5, and that's cold. It makes you shiver to keep your blood pressure up. So ask them what the temperature is on. Okay? If you're watching from TikTok and you got one of these machines, the Fresenius, on the front, you can look and see what the temperature is. If it's at 35 something, that's why you cold. See, when you cold, you shiver. If you shiver, it increases your blood pressure. Oldest trick in the book. So if you want dialysis and you see other people that don't look cold and you cold and you don't have, like, your blood count is good, and say you may have issues with your blood pressure, 9 times out of 10, they got the temperature at 35.5. So you can shiver and in return, increase your blood pressure. Oldest trick in the book. Also, you may want to wear, if you go to dialysis and you don't have to go to work afterwards, or you don't have any appointments or whatever, if I was you, I would wear old clothes. Maybe get some sweatpants, large sweatpants, and a sweatshirt, like gray or black or blue, matching sweat that you just wear to dialysis. And if you got a catheter, cut a V here in the middle so we can get to your catheter. Don't have it so we got to pull your shirt down and then it goes back up. It can pull the dressing off and all that, and it's all caught up tight like that. That's why we tell patients, wear a sweatshirt. Cut it. These can just be your dialysis clothes. After treatment, go home, change, or change at the unit. But don't wear no nice dress or your white shirt or whatever, and you got to grab, because that can start bleeding again. I can't tell you how many kidney warriors, like, after treatment, the technician, they may not get another chucks or whatever the case. And patient holding it, and say blood comes through and it leaks down on their shirt. Now, okay, we can get it all. Let's go get some peroxide and pour it on. And now your shirt all wet. And so wear old clothes if you can. If you can. To save yourself trouble from getting blood on your nice clothes. Also, here go some things that you can do to keep busy, or your parents, if you haven't thought about it during dialysis. Look, if you young and you can't do dialysis at home, you got to go in center, you can do your hustle from the chair. If you're an entrepreneur, yeah, you can work from the chair. They got internet, use their internet password, and handle your business. I remember when I worked at a clinic back in the 80s up in Bethesda, Maryland. Gentleman, I can't think of his name, but he owned a market, a produce market in D.C. over by Florida Avenue, where, like, Florida Avenue Market was at. All the produce stuff, none of that stuff over there no more. They done gentrified it and everything. And he used to be there, and that's when a lot of you guys, you don't know, but before these, they used to have the brick. And you guys, if you 58, my age, you know what I'm talking about, with the old cell phones that come in a little case, and it had the antenna on the outside, and you pick it up, or you had the brick phone, the Motorola with the little black short antenna on it, and it looked like a damn brick. Yeah, that's what we had back in the 80s and the up to a certain part of the 90s. So he was in the chair handling his business, doing dialysis. So if you do home business, you got a home business, or you do Bitcoins, or you're a day trader, something, sell insurance, whatever, and you do it online. Now they got this new digital marketing, affiliate marketing, whatever. If you get hit with kidney disease, don't let that stop your money bag. Bring your laptop and everything to the clinic, plug it up behind the wall, do what you got to do while you're on the machine. Also, you can play games on your phone. Somebody like the Candy Crush, Wheel of Fortune. And you playing something, next thing you know, the 3 hours gone, like, damn. Or you can watch TV. I know patients who have the DVD player, little small one, and they bring DVDs and they watching the movie. Watching the movie. Internet, you can read, talk on the phone. Again, crossword puzzle. I know patients that bring in crossword puzzles or word find for the older population. Maybe watch football. Or just maybe go to sleep. But don't feel like, oh my God, I got to go to this unit and this or that, and ain't nothing to do there. Try to make the best out of your situation. So let's look at the third week. I mean, there's a lot. I only been on here almost an hour. And this is a lot. I'm saying, this is stuff that people go through or not thinking about. Now it's the new normal in their life. It's the new normal. The third week, now you got to think about transportation if you haven't already thought about it. How are we going to get mom or daddy to dialysis? How am I going to get to dialysis if I don't even have a goddamn car? Do I got enough money for Lyft or Uber? Shit, well, I have enough for 3 times a week, going and coming back. Or is there a state bus or some type of transportation that could come and get me if I don't have transportation? Do I got a neighbor? Hey, Bill, can you take me to dialysis? I don't have a ride there. Nah, man, I got to go to work. Damn. Hey, Miss Kathy, can you take me to dialysis? Nah, sugar, I don't have my car. I mean, what are you going to do if you don't have transportation? But then if you do have transportation, and if you only have one, and you have a wife or a husband, and they got to go to work, how's that going to work out? What if they got to go to work at the time you go to dialysis and they can't drop you off? Now what? Think about the friction that's going to cause. All because of kidney disease. Oh, if it wasn't for that goddamn disease, we wouldn't be in this situation. Now you got to learn how to manage in spite of this disease. And again, that's why we do these type of shows. Because it ain't every day somebody's on this freaking internet talking about your first 30 days of dialysis and what you should be asking. Because you don't know. This is all new to you and your family. Sometimes a lot of people feel like they're doing it alone. Nowhere to turn. That's exactly why I'm doing these type of shows. Because I've seen families in situations when they said, "Oh, I wish I would have knew that back then," or I wish someone would have told me that." This is the first time I've heard this. And I'm saying to myself, are you for real? So week 3, what you want to think about is, one, if you haven't already thought about, is how you're going to get yourself to dialysis, your mother, your father, your wife, or your husband or your partner. How are they going to get there if it's only one car? Or what if it's no cars? So something to ask, can you drive yourself to dialysis? Do you feel well enough if you do have 2 cars, or y'all got 1 car and you're able to use that car to go to dialysis? Do you feel well enough to drive? Okay. Also, what transportation options do you have? What options do you have? If you're watching this right now and you say, "Oh, Steve, they told me I got to do dialysis soon." Well, if you've been told that, how are you going to get there if you got one transportation? What if your parent, if your mom or dad, and they can't drive? Now what? Now, and you work, you got brothers and sisters out of state, you the only sibling left in the state, and mommy and daddy need you. Say your dad on dialysis, your mother could be 75, 80. Your dad could be 81, 83 on dialysis now. You know well your mom ain't going to be able to take your dad, especially if he's in a wheelchair. Or what if he had a stroke? Who's going to help him get down the steps and get in the wheelchair and get in the car? And then get to dialysis, get him out the car. What if he's weak because he just got out the hospital? Or she? See, a lot of people don't think about this. Not until it happens. Week 3, something else to think about: your phosphate binders. That goes back when I was first talking about seeing a dietitian and you eating everything you want and you don't know about the phosphorus binders, and you eating stuff and you don't even know because you knew they got all this phosphorus and you still eating Captain Crunch and shit, right? Pouring milk, Captain Crunch every day. Maybe eating Hershey bar or going and eating ice cream. Not knowing that this stuff has phosphorus in it. And next thing you know, you haven't taken a binder like, say, a month or something because you didn't know. And now all of a sudden you itching. Like, where is this coming from? The next thing you know, let me go buy a back scratcher. And then they do lab tests and dietitians. Do you know your phosphorus is 10? What? What did that mean? 10. What is it supposed to be? You don't even know what it's supposed to be because you didn't get the education. So you need to know, and about the transportation, you talk with the social worker. If you have any transportation issues, how to get there, resources, the social worker, the phosphate binder, the dietitian. What happens if you forget to take your binders? Also, what you want to think about in the third week that should be thought about way before, not 3 weeks. Not 3 weeks into dialysis, you should be thinking about this next thing, but when you're in the hospital, and that's the reason why I did this book. The next thing they say you want to think about is your treatment options. Well, if you're already on hemodialysis at outpatient hemodialysis, yeah, you can change your treatment option, no doubt. But why are you letting me know 3 weeks after I've been diagnosed what my treatment options are? Because I could be in a hospital and make that decision before I get out on what treatment options may best work for me. I may still want to work. So I may see, oh, they got home dialysis? Damn, that means I don't, if it's, the weather's bad or whatever, I don't have to leave my house. And then, oh, I can still work. Shit, I can still possibly go out. I can come home and do my treatment. I can do it anytime I want. Hell, I can't sleep. Let me do my treatment and watch TV. But if you don't know that and you on dialysis and they had already made the surgeon, made the cut, and now say a month later, 6 weeks later, after they done, because you didn't know, but after they coached you to go to see the surgeon, and he done said what he had to say, he said, okay, we're gonna set you up for surgery. And you're like, oh my God, I wish there was another way I could do dialysis. I hate needles. Oh shit. You know, you're going through all this anxiety because you know you don't like needles, and you still knew. And then they go ahead and do the surgery, and you just hated that shit. Like, why? And then you see the needles, and you frightened to death. And then, say 2 months later, after you done already pulled the trigger, surgery, now they sticking, you hate it, they having issues with your arm, you find out about peritoneal dialysis where they could have did it in your belly. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, you telling me that I could have had dialysis using my belly and I didn't have to get the needles? Yeah. Why the fuck you didn't tell me that in the first place? And you gonna tell me I had to go through this surgery, and now if I want to get that, I gotta go through another surgery. And this is all because of lack of education. You find out 2 years after the fact that you could have did home dialysis and you done quit your job based on because they couldn't accommodate your work schedule, so you did the next best thing you thought was right is quit your job when you could have did home dialysis and still could have been getting your racks, still been getting your paper and doing dialysis. But no one told you that you could do it at home because no one thought to tell you. Because they know once they get you in the clinic, from the hospital to the clinic, it's pretty much a wrap. Now you're their revenue. And I hate to say it that way, but if those machines are not running, they're not making money. It's about scales of economy. That's why you see one person, like if the chair's empty, you may see another person come in from another shift. Or if you miss dialysis, they're going to try to get you to make it up. Or if they think you got a little bit more fluid on, they're going to try to set you up for a fourth treatment. A lot of that's all about money. Yeah, you may have fluid overload, but there's things you could do to stop that. So they have dialysis that you can do overnight called nocturnal. It may or may not be in your city or county or wherever you're at. But see if they do. This is where they do 6 to 8 hour treatment at a very slow rate. And you feel a lot better. Your outcomes are a lot better. Hell, a lot of people say they don't feel like they're on dialysis when they do nocturnal. And some of them have clearances better than people who've had transplants. Now go figure that. You say, Steve, yeah, I'm gonna get a transplant. I'll be away from dialysis. But you got patients on dialysis doing nocturnal, not taking any medicine, no medicines, and got KT over V of 2.5 or greater, when the minimum is 1.2. And they running at 2.5 or greater up to 3. And you got a KT over V over 3, meaning the clearance, how much treatment you getting. If it's 3, again, these doctors took these patients off of medicines, and their clearances were damn near better than some people on the transplant. I mean, that had a transplant. And that's why I say, no, I'm not getting no transplant. I'm like, why not? Because I'm not taking any medicines. And if I get off of dialysis and if I go get a transplant, now I got to take anti-rejection meds. I don't have to take that now. And some people are like, oh man, you stupid. Oh no, shit, I don't see how you can stay on dialysis. But again, this is not a one size fit all. If a transplant may work for you, it may not work for that person. Again, these are all treatment options. Hemo, in-center is a treatment option. Transplant, that's a treatment option. Peritoneal, treatment option. Home dialysis, treatment option. No dialysis, a treatment option. Yes, if you don't want to do dialysis, that's a treatment option. They got certain things they do if you don't want to do dialysis. But just know, and a lot of patients know what the risks are with no dialysis. And they're okay with that. So something else to think about, what to know about your dialysis center. You need to know everything you can about that clinic you're about to step into. How the staffing, the staff turnover rate, the staff call out. You need to know, are there any rules that you need to know about your dialysis center? Because they got patients' rights and responsibilities comes in that consent form. What are your rights and responsibilities as a patient? And there are many. Also, something that's not happening anymore that I encourage, if you know you're going to go to a clinic in your neighborhood or whatever, see if you could take a tour of that facility. See how they keep the unit up. If you see trash on the floor, is it dirty? Do you see stuff on the counter? See how, and they'll tell you if that's a clean unit or not. If they practicing proper infection control practices. Because there's no way you should be seeing tape. You should be seeing tape like this sitting on the counter. Because, listen, this tape gets germs on it when it's sitting on the counter. When it comes out the box, they grab it. They tear the strips off. After you stop bleeding, they tearing the strips, right? So they can tape you up. And then they set it down. Whether it's on top of the machine or if it's on the counter. And then you see somebody else get ready to take somebody else. Oh, I need some tape. You got some tape? Oh, let me grab that one. Not knowing where it's been. It could have fell on the floor. A patient could have walked by and picked it up and put it back on the counter. Now what? And you got people using it. And where's it going? Right on your arm. Over the needle. And if you got the access and you watching this, a lot of the technicians and nurses are not even using the gauze to put over your needle. They just put the damn tape over it. Just like that. And you can see the needle right under the tape. And then the tape got germs on it. Because again, it's sitting on the counter. So that's why you need to take a tour of the unit. I could pull up pictures right now and show you pictures I got sent to me from technician of a unit that was dirty. The inside the tray part where the computer is, they got the Alcavase and Accept, no top on it and everything, thermometer, everything, like just filthy. And then a lot of patients want to know why they get an infection. How do they get an infection? So you got to watch the staff. That's what I'm saying. If you take a tour of the unit before you start, it gives you an indication how cleanliness the facility is. No joke. As they say, no cat. All right, now let's end this with week 4. This is the last week of the month. Now, I tell you, we done went through a lot that you need to think about. Now, this is something to think about in week 4. Now you know everything is, you start feeling a little better, coming around. You know, you done had treatments, almost a month of treatments. Now you may, oh shit, I'm ready now. I'm starting to feel good. You may be like, hey, honey, can we travel? I don't know. Do you think they got dialysis in Vegas? I don't know. Let's ask the social worker. When you go in, hey, Miss Jan, say Jan is social worker. Hey, how can I travel while I'm on dialysis? So you ain't, that's something to think about. If you used to travel and now kidney disease like hit you in the gut, took a little breath out, now you got your wind back and you used to travel, jet set, whatever. You can do that. Talk with the social worker. And this is the question you want to ask. Can you travel while you're on dialysis? Will your health insurance cover transfer to another facility? See, Medicaid, you go out to the Riviera, go out to Fiji or somewhere, they ain't gonna pay for dialysis. Medicaid ain't paying for dialysis over there. You go to Dominican, they ain't gonna pay for no dialysis over there. Better come out your pocket. Even on the cruise ship, come out your pocket. You're in international waters. Medicare ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no international insurance. So this kind of stuff that you want to think about, because if you do home dialysis, some of this you don't have to worry about. Now there's other stuff you got to worry about, like getting your supplies and everything. But if you're driving, you can put the machine in your car or in the camper. I mean, some of you guys got those big camper, Will Smith campers with the damn side ejecting halfway across the block. You sit right in there or outside and do dialysis while you camping. Let's talk about supplements. That's something else to talk about. Are there any tools to help you stay on track with your diet? Talk to the dietitian about that. Is there anything to help you stay on track with your diet? The phosphate binders, folic acid, the multivitamins. Again, treatment options. She's been talking about that way in week 1. Even before dialysis, if you knew you had kidney disease, they should have been talking to you about transplant in the beginning. But in week 4, bring it up. That's if you want to get a transplant. Ask them, should you be referred for a kidney transplant? And don't let them gaslight you or sweep it under the rug. Because a lot of these units, they need the revenue. If someone leaves, get a transplant, that's money gone. I'm not saying that they don't want to see somebody get a transplant, but how many units you've been in, and they got a whole section in the patient lobby of you getting a transplant. They may have it up at the units in Beverly Hills. Yeah, they got money up there. Or some other parts of the country, but I guarantee you, the majority of clinics you go to, and you go in a patient waiting area, you're not going to see like posters and all this stuff about promoting kidney transplant, you're not going to see it. Because now you're promoting something that can potentially take their revenue away. They're not coming back. Once you get the transplant, that's money gone to them. Now they hoping the next doctor send their patient to this clinic. And you got 12 other units around. And now everybody's trying to get that one patient. Now, maybe in week 4 or even before, they may start talking to you about vascular access, getting it put in your arm. And you're like, wait a minute. I'm used to this catheter. And by this time, 4 weeks done passed. By this time, you done seen people get stuck with the needle. You done hear people yelling, ow, ow. And you like, oh my God. And you know, you happy with the catheter, right? You happy with this because all they got to do is connect the lines to it. It ain't no putting no needles in my arm. You just sit back. You just sit back and they just hook it up. But now they want you to go somewhere and get something done so they could put this needle in your arm. You're like, wait a minute. No one told me about this. And, you know, can I just have enough time to think about if this is what I want to do? So, again, when they come to you, you're going to have this, and then they're going to say, look, we're going to give you an appointment slip for a vein mapping so they can look at your veins in your arms. And you don't know what the hell they talking about. Huh? Veins in my arms? What are you guys talking about? And it's not until you go to the doctor, to the surgeon, he talking about this, but you didn't already see people get stuck with this needle, and you don't want this. So don't let anyone guilt trip you into doing something you're not ready for at that moment. I'm not saying it's not important to go see the surgeon, but you want to just kind of like take a deep breath, think about it, maybe get some questions answered, maybe come to shows like this. When you hear this information, jot it down and go back to ask your doctor or your surgeon so you can be clear and not walk in it blindly. And then again, that 4th week, one thing to think about, the last one, is caring for your vascular access. That is so critical, caring for your lifeline, as a lot of warriors call it. Now you want to know how, if you got one of these, how can you take care of this? Has anybody told you how to take care of it? How to clean it if the dressing comes off? What to do and what not to do? How to take care of your graft or your fistula? How to do the look, listen, and feel to make sure it's still working? How to check it to make sure it's not infected? Hell, you may wake up one morning and your access is red and warm to touch. And you're like, wait a minute, what's this? Not knowing that it's an infection. But I didn't even know. No one told me. No one taught me what to look for. if I have an infection. That's what these broadcasting shows are for. Also, what activities could hurt your vascular access? You can have access up here and you come in dialysis with this shirt on and you can't even roll it up, because if you roll it up, it can compress on your access. That's why we say wear large, loose clothing like a sweatshirt. Cut out the arms or whatever, or get something that got the zipper. You can open it up and we can stick. That way you ain't got to roll your sleeve up. So this is, I mean, listen, there are many other questions or concerns that you may have for either me or your healthcare team. So look, don't be afraid to speak up. Ask as many questions as you need to, and start and just listen. What may work, you know what I'm saying? What you can use it. What you can't, let it go. Yeah, this is one of the machines right here. DaVita doesn't have their own machine. They use machines from Fresenius. And this is a Fresenius machine right here. This is the face of it. So now let me move on to the next part of this. That's good, Miss Barbara. That's good. So let's move on to the next part. And this next part, let me look at the comments. I'm sorry. Frederico, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Frederico is in the house. Jennifer Reese, thank you for joining. Jennifer Reese says, wish I knew that about lifestyle change before stage 4 at GFR 22. If you're still watching, Jennifer, have you tried or heard about Renadil? This may help along with the lifestyle change. This product may help stop the progression. We did a show where some ladies who are in stage 4 and even 5 taking this haven't started dialysis. So go on my site. You can do your research, www.renadil.com. I take it. I got stage 2 kidney disease. I went from a GFR from 80 to 87. Now I'm at 92. Okay. I didn't never go back to the 100. My kidneys, I still got, when I pee, bubbles and stuff like that. But I still do what I'm supposed to do. And my numbers don't lie. But this product, this is a probiotic. All right. It's not, you don't need a prescription. It's a supplement. And it's not FDA, hasn't been evaluated by the FDA, so it's not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose. But let me tell you something. Boy, a lot of people sleeping on this. A lot of people sleeping on this with stage 3 and stage 2 kidney disease. This is not gonna fix it alone. You got to do the work. When he say, Steve, what work you talking about? Like shoveling? Nah, you got to do the work, like change your diet, decrease your sodium, decrease your cholesterol, watch your blood pressure. If you're on blood pressure medicine, make sure you're taking that. Decrease your cholesterol. I think I said that. If you got diabetes, watching your blood sugar, keep in control. Physical activity, water, cut out the soda pops and the juices. And I mean, it's a lifestyle change. You just can't take a pill and think it's going to work. Miss Kathy, how you doing? Veronica Bonilla, wow, right on the mark. I had mental breakdown, all dizziness and weakness. And like you say, 6 months to a year is the hardest. Yeah, thank you for commenting, Veronica. I really appreciate you. Please subscribe to my YouTube. Thank you, Veronica, for commenting. Jennifer said, is that an option, whether a needle or keep the catheter? Well, I mean, if you want it to be an option, and what I mean by that, I know patients, okay, and I kid you not, I know patients that are very adamant about not getting this taken out. They're very adamant. They don't give a damn. They done had it for 3-4 years. You know, they tried it, and the access didn't develop, and they was like, F that. No more chances. And they keeping this till the day they die or get a transplant. They real adamant. I mean, what they gonna do? They gonna come and handcuff you and make you get it taken out and get that? So that's what I mean. And some patients, they just, I'm gonna just go ahead and get it done. Some people like, nah, I'm not getting this done. I'm gonna wait till I get my transplant. I want to keep this in, and then they do what they gotta do to get on the list. Like, nah, you ain't putting no needles in my arm. I mean, I kid you not. You just have people like that. And they know that you can't make them get this taken out. But if you have people who may not know, they could be a little gullible or may not know how to advocate for themselves, they may do it. But again, a lot of times they take this out, they do the surgery. For the most part, it goes well. But for a lot of people, especially people of color that got small veins, they do the surgery, the access doesn't develop. Now, next thing you know, they want to cut up here after they done did all this trauma and surgery down here, try to lift the vein up, try to widen it, this and that. Now, next thing you know, where you had a hand that used to be great, now the surgeon done effed it up. It's not working. Now he left you in pain. You can't even squeeze a freaking water bottle. And then when you come to dialysis, your hand's cold. You'd be like, hey, do you got something I can cover my hand up, but it's cold? That's because whatever the surgery they did in here, and they cut this and did that, and now the blood for the access is being stolen from the blood that's supposed to go down here. It's being rerouted. So you're not getting enough blood. So if you are in a position where they want you to go see the surgeon, go see what they got to say. Go see what he got to say, and then do your research from there. Get a second opinion. Oh, it's over the counter. You can go to my page and you see a video and you'll see the ad and everything in the link. So let's talk about proteinuria, what you need to know. And this is geared to people who may be having high blood pressure watching this. You don't have to have kidney disease or be on dialysis to have this. You can have diabetes, lupus, high blood pressure. Oh my God. Okay. I see you, K-Love. Hey, stick around. Oh, you already saw surgeon. Because I was going to show you something about the veins. Hopefully they're going to go up. I hope they go up on you. All right, so let's talk about proteinuria, because this can happen to anybody. So what is proteinuria, and what do you need to know about proteinuria? You may have been to the doctor and say you got protein in your urine. You're like, huh? Okay. And he may have said that, and it went in. Oh, thank you, P. Teach. It may went in one ear and out the other. Okay, I got proteinuria. Okay. And you may like faking the funk, like you understand what it is, but you didn't. And you never went back to get that checked out. And next thing you know, your kidneys are failing. So what is proteinuria? Proteinuria means protein is in your pee. Bottom line, protein is in your pee. Your kidneys make urine by cleaning waste and extra fluid from your blood. Again, your kidneys make urine or pee by cleaning waste and extra fluid from your blood. Your kidneys also help prevent the loss of things that your body needs, like protein. Your body needs the protein. Proteinuria happens when your kidneys let protein leak in your urine or pee. So protein in your urine may also be called albuminuria or microalbuminuria. And all that centers around the diabetes. So why does it matter if you have proteinuria? Why does it matter? A very tiny amount of protein in your urine may be common from time to time. It may be common. But a larger amount of protein, like 3 grams, like your boy was spilling back in 2002, a large amount of spillage in your urine may be an early sign of kidney disease. So that's why we say go get the blood and urine test. Even if you feel like you don't have any issues with high blood pressure or diabetes, just see if you got any protein leakage in your pee. And if you do, this may be an indication of early kidney disease. And this how you catch it. You don't have to be one of the unfortunate ones where you found out you got stage 4 and you didn't even know it. And now you're trying to scramble and do certain things to stop from going on dialysis or further advancing that kidney disease. If proteinuria is not controlled, make no mistakes, if proteinuria is not controlled, the increased amount of protein in your urine can lead to more kidney damage. Just messing it up. And over time, this don't happen overnight. Over time, this can cause your kidneys to fail. And that's where you end up in the emergency room not knowing what's going on. And the doctor come out with the report saying, did you know your kidneys have failed? And you're like, what? Yeah, have you been seeing the doctor? Oh, I saw a doctor about 2 years ago. He mentioned something about, I think he said something about protein, but I don't know anything else. Well, Mr. Belcher, your kidneys are failed. Damn. What am I going to do now? Shit. So you don't want to be put in that position. Okay? Now, if your kidneys fail, you're going to either need dialysis or a transplant. And that's the thing with a transplant. A lot of people don't know when they find out they got kidney disease, they could be stage 3, stage 4. But you even stage 5, but do you hear it? You know, the nephrologist talking to you about a preemptive transplant? Like, Steve, whoa. What'd you say, preemptive? What the hell is a preemptive transplant? You don't know what a preemptive transplant is? No, man, I just started dialysis. What is it? Well, you could have had a transplant before you even went on dialysis. If you would have found someone that donated a living donor and they say, okay, I want to donate to you, you don't even have to go to dialysis if you had a donor. Say, what? Yeah. Damn. I didn't even know that. And then next thing you know, you're on dialysis and you get all this information after the fact. After the fact. So if you find and treat the problem, so if you got protein spilling in your urine, don't just walk out the doctor's office and say, okay, I got protein in the urine. Find out what's causing the spillage of that protein in your urine. Because they got medication that can prevent the spillage. I've taken a medicine that protected my kidneys from spilling protein. Like I told you, back in 2003, I had 3 grams of protein spilling from an unknown viral infection. And so ever since then, even though I'm a kidney nurse, I've been seeing the kidney doctor for about almost 20 years, the same guy, Dr. Harry Choi, Asian guy, young, knows his shit. But I'm saying, if I didn't, I would probably be clueless if I wasn't a dialysis nurse. But what I'm saying is I'm trying to get the same information that I use and that thousands of other patients don't get a chance to see or hear, to try to broadcast and get this information out to people who may or may not know about this. And if you know about it, try to re-emphasize it to get you checked. And if you don't know, that would lead you to go get checked and then do something about it. So again, you don't become a victim of circumstances. So if you find and treat the problem that's causing the protein from leaking in your urine or your pee, you may be able to stop or slow down the damage. That's why we say get checked. Because if you're watching this and you got stage 2, stage 3, 4, even 5, don't give up. It's not the end of the world, but what are you going to do to stop the progression? Now, it may not be too much you can do if you had 5% or whatever, but I knew someone who was around 9% that made sure she was going to stay off dialysis by diet and anything else she could do. And she damn near did it. But if you don't know and you don't know the right things to do, you may be at stage 4 and be like, yeah, that guy, that nurse, he don't know what the hell he talking about. Shit, I saw something on Facebook, this tea that I want to get. I'll show him. And the next thing you know, you forking out $49.99 for some damn potion or some tea, herbal tea, that said it's going to reverse your damage. But it doesn't give you an instruction to tell you when it's supposed to happen, how long it's going to happen. And you drink the tea, and the next thing you know, it does more damage than good. And you're out of $49.95. Now you made your situation much worse. Hell, you made it so much worse. Now you got to start dialysis. When if you didn't drink that crap, your kidney function would still be at maybe 11 to 10%. So what are the signs of proteinuria? So you are not able to see the protein in the urine. It's like when you pee and you look in there, you can't see, like you're looking like trying to look at the protein with the naked eye. You ain't gonna see no protein like that. You gotta have the microscope, right? The only way to know if you have proteinuria is to have your urine tested. Now they got these dipsticks. You can stick it in, turn it on the back, and it tell you +2 protein, +3, whatever. Most people do not notice any symptoms. But if you do have symptoms, they might look like this: foamy urine, or swelling in your hands, feet, or your face. Let me see what Miss Jennifer Reese says. Good evening, Miss Joyner. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Jennifer Reese says, I'm spilling a lot of protein. Been spilling it a while, trying to cut animal protein and other items. What's a good plan? And what do I ask my doctor when I see him again? Jennifer, hit my inbox, please. Steve, the kidney nurse, or Steve Belcher, RN. One plan would be to get on a medicine that can protect your kidneys from spilling the protein. It's going to look like, it's going to be probably like a blood pressure medicine, like a thiazide, like I take telmisartan. All right. Animal protein, definitely cut that a lot. Reduce your sodium. This right here, again, this is a probiotic called Renadil. What it's designed to do, what I didn't mention, it's a probiotic. So it does what they call at the company intestinal dialysis, where it's the probiotic is eating the nitrogenesis waste out of the blood. So it's thus reducing workload on the kidney because the probiotics are eating up the nitrogenesis waste, and it's eliminating that waste out of your stools when you do have number 2. So it helps reduce workload on the kidneys. And I've been taking this faithfully. Like I said, my GFR went from 87 back, from 80 to 87 back to 92, but it was greater than 92. But I don't know if I'll see anything higher than 92. We'll see when I do my next blood test. But please hit my inbox so we can try to develop a plan for you. you can take back to your doctor and ask them what they think about it. But we got to get you to stop spilling that protein so we can slow down the progression. So thank you for sharing that. So let's look at so I already said the signs of proteinuria would be protein in the urine. You can check it with a dipstick. Most people don't notice any symptoms. However, if you do have any symptoms, it may look like foamy urine. And when you pee, you see all this foam bubbling up. Or you may have swelling in your hands, your face, or your feet, around your ankles. All right, so let's look at some things before we wind it down. So how do you know if you have proteinuria? How would you know? You do, okay. You can halt that stage 3, brother. Hit my inbox. I don't have any hocus pocus, but just some other intervention plans. But look, how do you know if you have proteinuria? Being tested for proteinuria is simple. There are two main tests. There's the dipstick urine test that tells your doctor if there's protein right then and there in the urine. Your doctor may test your urine in the office. You go in, they pee in the cup. Or you may bring a sample from home or go to the lab. If your first dipstick urine test shows protein in your urine, ask your doctor if you should be tested again. Also ask your doctor if a urine albumin to creatinine ratio test is right for you. To see what the ratio of albumin to your creatinine is. And the UACR test, the urine albumin to creatinine test, tells your doctor how much albumin is in your urine. Now, your doctor will test your urine for albumin, a type of protein, and creatinine, a kind of waste. Your doctor will compare these results to figure out your urine albumin to creatinine ratio. A normal urine albumin to creatinine ratio is less than 30 milligrams. Now, if it's more than 30 milligrams, ask your doctor when you should test again to find out what's going on, because that may mean you got some kidney issues going on. Now, what should you do if you have proteinuria, like Mrs. Reese here? Mrs. Reese on Facebook says, I'm spilling a lot of protein. Been spilling it a while trying to cut animal protein in other items. And TikTok, you may be dealing with this right now. What's a good plan, and what do I ask my doctor when I see him again? First thing you want to do is ask your doctor to check your GFR, to find out what stage, or if you're in any stage of kidney disease. Also, ask them what medicine you can take to protect your kidneys from spilling the protein. Also, look for a reputable dietitian. I'm going to have a dietitian nutritionist on my show tomorrow night as we talk about the Southern Fried Diet and kidney disease. That's tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Steve the Kidney Nurse Facebook page or YouTube channel. So that would be a great show to watch tomorrow. And the dietitian is really great. Her name is Kelsey Reed. She's with CKD Nutrition. CKD Nutrition. You can go to her website. You know, because you got nutritionists and dietitians out that work with patients because they understand the importance of diet and these chronic diseases and how much a diet plays a critical part. So what should you do if you have proteinuria, meaning protein in your pee? If your test shows that you have proteinuria, work with your doctor to treat it. Don't just let it go by. Hearing them say, oh, I got protein. Okay. All right, I see you next time. No. Start working on this. Remember, if the cause of your proteinuria is not treated, your kidneys may be damaged further. They may be damaged further. So treating the proteinuria is one way to keep your kidneys as healthy as possible. Let's see this Miss Joyner. She says, I'm doing a 24-hour urine starting tomorrow to see if I can come off dialysis. I never have enough to pour in the center without cramping. Yep. So if you still urinating, they should only be pulling maybe like 500. Probably not even that. They shouldn't be pulling nothing, but they got to put something on the machine. So the nurse said she will ask the doctor if I can go less time. Yep, I would do 2.5 hours. Meanwhile, my tunnel catheter came out Saturday and got a new one today. Hurts like hell. Wow. Wow, you done said a lot all in that. You done said a whole lot that a lot of people who will read that wouldn't understand it. But you done said a whole lot. But one thing I want to talk about that a lot of people don't know is these catheters. Miss Joyner said her catheter came out. This right here, guys, that goes here came out. I don't know if it was at home, at dialysis, if she was out shopping, but this can get snagged on your shirt or something, and it can come out if you're not careful. And a lot of people think, like, if this comes out, you're going to see all this blood all over the place, a gory scene. And for the most part, no. It comes out and you really don't see nothing. You're like, damn, I thought it was going to bleed. No, it didn't. So you got to be careful on the clothes that you wear when you have one of these catheters, and just watch what you're doing and make sure it doesn't get snagged or caught on something. All right, thank you for sharing that, Ms. Joyner. I really appreciate that. Okay. As I said, what should I do if I have proteinuria? Again, if your test shows that you have proteinuria, work with your doctor as soon as possible. Don't let this go away. All right, treat it as soon as possible. Remember, if the cause of your proteinuria is not treated, your kidneys may become damaged further. Now, treating proteinuria is one way. It's just one way to keep your kidneys as healthy as possible. Also, ask your doctor if you should, one, have other tests to check your kidneys. Like I was saying, the GFR, which stands for glomerular filtration rate test, or a 24-hour urine test, what Miss Joyner was talking about. 24-hour, what they do, they give you this large brown container, and every time that you got to pee, you pee in the container. You don't pee in the toilet, you pee in the container. And then you put the top back on and you put the container in the refrigerator. It's supposed to keep it cold, refrigerated. Then next time you got to go, you go grab the container out the fridge, take the cap off, urinate or void in the container, close it back up, put it back in the refrigerator. And then after your last void, when you get up the next morning, that would be your last one. Your first urination is the last one. Then you take that into the center, and then they get a sample out and send it away. And then they do the creatinine clearance. See how much creatinine was cleared from your kidney into that urine. So here we go. Here go the medicines. If you got, like, for people like Miss Jennifer Reese, if you got protein spilling in your urine and you're watching this, ask your doctor if there's any medicines, because they are, to help protect your kidneys. Because you got some blood pressure medicines like they call ACE inhibitors or ARBs, may help protect the kidneys. Now, your doctor may prescribe one of these medicines, even if you don't have high blood pressure, because these medicines protect the kidney from spilling protein. Also, take steps to control high blood pressure and diabetes if you have it, because they could be the number one culprit. Diabetes and hypertension. You want to make sure you control those guys. Those are the two leading causes of kidney failure. Also, see a kidney doctor. See a kidney doctor if you're not seeing one. Miss Joyner say, oh, it happened at home. Her catheter came out at home, guys. At home, I was at the center Friday, and the nurse said stitches were loose. Dialysis was done. I went home. Saturday, I had a bloody mess. Went to emergency room by ambulance and waited 5.5 hours. The doctor said, lift your shirt, and the catheter fell out. Wow. Sometimes it doesn't bleed when they come out. But wow. And see, look, this is, even though this doesn't treat catheters, but I want to do a catheter kit, because that's why I came up with the home emergency lifeline kit. Because if you got a graft or fistula and you at home and you start to bleed and you don't know what to do, and if you had this by your bedside, oh, I got the help. You can open it up, you can pull out your gauze, rip it up, and put it over the site. And then when it starts bleeding, you got your short seal Band-Aids, you got your gloves, you even got a tourniquet in here in this kit to help you out. So this, Mrs. Joyner, I'm so glad that you were able to get and seek emergency treatment quick as possible, and that situation got remediated quickly, because that shows you how you can have this in 1 minute, and then the next minute is out, and you at home and you don't know what to do. So I'm so happy that you were able to get that taken care of. He said you got to get, yeah, it's on my on my site, Steve the Kidney Nurse. So I've been on about 2 hours, about to shut it down, but I hope you guys were able to listen and hear about your first 30 days, okay, of dialysis, the questions you should be asking. You may have some questions of your own, of what's going on. Again, coping, your new diet, your dialysis treatment, support in and out of the dialysis center, paying for treatment, preparing meals, your medicines, what to do during treatment, your transportation to and from treatment, your phosphorus binders, treatment options, what to know about your new dialysis center, travel, supplements, treatment options, and caring for your vascular access. This is a lot, guys. This is an awful lot. And the more you know, the better you'll be prepared as a kidney warrior. This Ms. Joyner say you're welcome. Thank you for coming to this platform, Ms. Joyner. Like I tell people, I be here all the time. I just need the people to come. So if you know anybody, Ms. Joyner, that could benefit from this information, or you think it can add value to their life, please invite them. Even if it's the people at the clinic, invite the whole clinic. Hell, make a flyer with Steve the Kidney Nurse, with my website or whatever. But no, we need more kidney warriors to come out, get this information, ask the questions they may need to ask that they're not getting answered at the unit. And now we're in a discussion, communications, and exchanging information. Oh, okay, Miss Reese. Okay, absolutely. Thank you. And I definitely will get back with you. And that's for anybody. If you got any questions or concerns, you haven't heard me once say, oh, hey, you can set up an appointment. How many people you see on here? You can see me set up an appointment with $75, this and that. No, I haven't done that yet. I'm not saying I'm going to do that, right? But, for right now, if you need someone to talk to or ask a question about your situation, I'm here for you, right? Now, it's a different thing if you want to sow a seed. I would tell you, just like they talk about in church, when the preacher be talking and they be saying something good and they be coming down and throwing a dollar on the stage, right? Now, if you want to sow a seed, that's something different. I ain't going to ask you. But no, reach out if you got questions, and I'll definitely hit you off, seriously. So with that being said, thank you guys on YouTube and Facebook. I'm about to close it down. I've been on here 2 hours and 12 minutes. Thank you for your attention. I'm trying to think. I'm off on Wednesday, so I may do another show tomorrow. That'll be 5 nights in a row. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, tomorrow be 6 days. How many people comes on here just giving away free information and their time and energy? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got stuff I could be doing, but I feel this is more important. You get that information out there. You know, you may have kidney warriors really need some information and they don't know where to turn. That to me is more important right now than being out. Well, there's nowhere to go. I'm 58 years old. It ain't like I'm 30 and 20, like I'd be hanging out, being at the at happy hour, leaning back against the bar or something, looking at the women. I'm 58 years old. Like, come on. It's time to try to make an impact with the rest of the time I have left here on this planet to make an impact, to try to make the world a better place before I leave here. So, with that being said, I'm going to go off of here, decompress, probably finish writing the 7th chapter of my second book. And the second book is, I don't know, maybe better than the first book, but it's a continuation of this. It's called the Dialysis Patient Handbook of Information. Now, where are you going to find a handbook of information that you get, like, it pertains to what you do? If you got access to your arm, got all the problems that can occur, what should be done, how to watch for infection, or if you hospitalized, what you need to have packed for the hospital, what you need to bring, all this great information that you should know as a dialysis patient or caregiver for someone who's received dialysis. Because a lot of this stuff you're not going to get in the unit anymore. Those days are over with. We're in a new era now. This is an era of staff calling out, staff shortages, get them in, get them out. We ain't got time for it. You see the cuts. 1 minute alcohol pads were this big, now they this big. Yeah, just you can go to my website, Miss Angela, SteveTheKidneyNurse.com. If you order through my site, I will sign it for you. Be like, to Miss Angela, thanks for your support. Peace and blessings. Stay blessed and encouraged. Steve, the Kidney Nurse. This is not like when you put it down, you can always go back because you may see some, oh, this may pertain to me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me look at this again. What did he say about this? Oh, what did he say about this? So, with that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, that book right there, 37 years of experience put in that book. So I tried to leave no stone unturned, especially when you're dealing with kidney disease. Oh, Miss Angie said she learned a lot the hard way, and I'm sorry. And again, that's why I'm writing these books, so the next person doesn't have to learn the hard way like you did, or anyone else that comes in. Because kidney disease is not going to stop. It's not going to stop if it. Look, we went from the God Committee back in the 60s and the 50s, people got to put in an application to be considered to have dialysis. You got 7 people making a decision if you're going to get dialysis or not based on certain criteria. And if you didn't get picked, you was SOL. And those who don't know what SOL is, that's shit out of luck. You just go home to die. Till now, we have clinics just astronomical, just all over the place, next to Dollar General, next to Blood Plasma, 3 clinics in less than a mile from each other. It's like you can't get enough of it. And people will, oh, yeah, at least they got them. At least they treating the people. No, that shows you that it's a problem with kidney disease. Who wants to go to dialysis 3 times a week if they don't have to, if they could have been told that they do this and that, and then this won't progress to kidney failure? But if they're not told that, now they on dialysis and they could have prevented it. Nobody wants to be in that type of situation. If you knew you could have did something about it, you would have done it. But now you can't do nothing because it's too late. Hey, Candace, how you doing? I feel like Jamal Bryant. Woo! Nah, but definitely not. They centers are popping up daily, man. These clinics are not going anywhere. In the area where all the liquor stores, not one treatment center here in Dallas. See, I see a lot. I've been up Dallas and Texas, especially down Houston. It's ridiculous. San Antonio, Austin, it's off the chain. So, with that being said, just know Urban Health Outreach Media, Steve the Kidney Nurse, Urban Kidney Alliance, they're all one and the same. And if you have any questions, concerns, comments, something that you don't understand pertaining to kidney disease or kidney failure, just know you could come here and get your questions asked. And if I can't answer them, I damn sure go to someone who can. So with that being said, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to thank you guys again. Check out the book, How to Survive Outpatient Hemodialysis, a guide for patients with kidney failure. It's available at Barnes & Nobles and Amazon. However, you can get it from my website. Let me put that up here on the banner. SteveTheKidneyNurse.com. And if you order it from my website, I will personally sign it to so-and-so. Thanks for your support. Peace and blessings. Stay blessed and encouraged. Or whatever you want me to write. To Dickie. Stay well. But with that being said, guys, let me see this last comment. Oh, good night, Miss Joyce. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. You're so welcome. Anything you need, just reach out to me in my inbox. With that being said, guys, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure doing this show tonight. And like I said, tomorrow night, I'll probably do another one. Probably people gonna probably get tired of me, doing these education shows, but it's needed. It's needed. I mean, if it wasn't needed, I wouldn't be on here. But no one else is talking about protein in the urine or your first 30 days, what questions to ask. Oh, I can't come on tomorrow because tomorrow's the show. Again, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. I'm not going to be on TikTok, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's what I'm saying. Subscribe to my YouTube, Steve the Kidney Nurse, and Facebook page. Me and Kelsey Reed, who is a chronic kidney disease dietitian and nutritionist. We're going to be talking about Southern fried diet, stroke, kidney disease risk with Southern fried diet. You may be down south like, oh shit, Steve, you're barking up the wrong tree now. I live in Georgia or I live in Alabama and we got some good food. We eat really, really good down south. That deep fried. Yeah, but let's have this conversation tomorrow and see if maybe this diet contributed to your diabetes or your hypertension that you may have. So, with that being said, guys, again, love you guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. Check us out tomorrow night right here, 7 p.m. Myself and Kelsey Reed, CKD, dietitian, nutrition of CKD Nutrition, as we talk about the Southern fried diet and kidney disease. All right, guys, I keep getting these comments. All right. What you say? Not tired. We need you. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Just keep coming back, Miss Mason. Thank you for your support on Facebook. I'll be seeing you sharing my information and liking it. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you so much, Miss Angela Mason. I really, really appreciate you. Oh, she said, why? There used to be advocates in the centers. They took them out. There used to be advocates there, but no more. No more. I don't know why, but there used to be advocates, someone that welcomes new patients and everything. They don't have it no more. So that's why I do these shows. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We see you on the backside. Take care. Tune in tomorrow night again, 7 p.m. right here. Myself and Kelsey Reed as we talk about the Southern fried diet and kidney disease. I'm out. Peace.
Warriors around, don't get caught in the mosh pit. Fuel to the fire, ain't nobody can stop it. Trouble in my city, but you know I'm across it. Got a 40 on my hip and I'm liable to spark it. Throw down these hits, my click is indivisible. I aim, you duck, I squeeze, now you invisible. I'm not afraid of getting physical. All these different chemicals are fogging up my visuals. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we notorious, we ain't no runners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Yo, we some warriors, they ain't called gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Bloods on my hands, got slugs on my gunners. Put on my sweat, put on the beat, put on the map, put on my team. Take out every motherfucker in between, know what I mean? Better myself, better my aim, better my rep, better my name. Killing rappers on my hang, I'm by their chains for the fame. Never thought I would